when you're competing as a teammate and you consider him a brother on the team and you're talking about pulling together in the middle of battle during basketball games, when you see Latrell Sprewell with James Dolan the day after that, you feel like the moments that he said he was your brother on the basketball floor, that feels like a lie now?
Yeah, it feels like whatever the situation is, you'll do whatever to be comfortable within your skin. By saying, well, I got your back, I love you. By doing what they did, by, participating in a photo op, then that tells me that everything else you said was a lie. And to not reach out to your brother after something like that happens, it's unfortunate. And I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'll speak for Oak also, because we've talked a lot about this. That, as much as he's done for that team, I mean, there's not a guy that I've played with or watched other than probably Dennis Rodman that gave up their body for that team, whatever team they were playing on, as much as those two guys. And to not have his back says a lot about you as a person.
So Oak is disappointed in Sprewell as well for that.
Absolutely. And you guys know Oak. If they ever came in contact with each other, it won't be pretty.
Yeah, Oak suffers little fools. I mean, this is a guy that is one of the most serious competitors ever and the truest of tough guys. And so that's what's a little weird, is that I always thought that Oak has so much loyalty around the NBA, especially from the guys that played with him, that it's kind of bizarre that a lot of guys did not rush to his defense. Did you find that a little bizarre as well?
Well, I knew the reason, because a lot of the guys were under his thumb and on his payroll. So they don't want to lose that income. And like I said, I get it. I understand it. But eventually you have to stand up for yourself and speak out on what's wrong and what's right. And those guys chose to not do that because they wanted that income. And Oak is a guy, and you guys know that he's serious. He'll give his shirt off his back. He'll do anything for you if you need him to come to an event, show up at anything, kids, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, whatever it is, he'll be there. And for those guys not to show up for him and afraid to speak out against James Dolan because of a check, that's just weak to me.
What would you tell James Dolan if you had a chance to sit one-on-one with him?
I don't know if I knew his dad when I played. I think, we dealt with his dad more than I did him. But, I mean, in certain situations, you just got to have common sense. I mean, if things aren't working how you're doing them now, then you have to change, whether it's give somebody else more power, you sit back and let somebody else take over. But I would just tell him what you did was wrong. I don't think anybody holds him accountable because they're afraid of repercussions. I've never been afraid of anything in my life. So speaking my truth to another man who walks like me and talks like me, I won't be afraid to tell them when they're wrong. And what he did to Oak and what he's doing to those fans and the disservice of doing the right thing, I would let him know that without hesitation.
Does the Knicks family, the players themselves, do they all feel like Oakley's been wronged, or is it you haven't really heard from anybody besides just your relationship with Oak?
They won't speak out on it because some of them work within the franchise, so they won't speak out on it. Now, maybe a few guys that are no longer with the organization, guys that were there and they're still there, they might send a message to another person, but nobody's going to come out publicly and say anything. That's not going to happen.
Will they say anything privately to you, even if they're on payroll and an ambassador for the team? Will they say privately, like, yeah, you know what, they treated Oak poorly, or will they just not even go there?
Well, they used to, but, all that communication has been over also. I remember a couple of years ago when I started speaking out on certain situations within the team, I was doing some podcasts with some other gentlemen, and all communication stopped when I spoke on Oak's behalf. So, and some of the people in the organization stopped returning calls. So I knew that it had became not me speaking out for Oak, that it was going to turn against me. Because case in point, when they represented or had the thing at the Garden for the '97 team, and I wasn't invited. Oak wasn't invited. So right then and there, I knew that it was something personal.
Chris Childs is our guest here on CBS Sports Radio. So that's kind of the understanding now, is that if you are critical of the organization, you know, as a former player, no matter how many great moments that you had, that you could just basically be wiped clean, that you become, nobody's going to touch you. You become untouchable.
I guess that's what it is. But like I said, there's still some good people in the organization that, you know, I talk to. Don't talk to them regularly. You know, it might be once a month, once every 2 months. But, you know, guys, it is what it is. I'm not going to stop rooting for the Knicks. You know, that's my team. That's why I basically became a New Yorker. I talk to guys all the time, and they say, Chris, you represented the city the way that we wanted you to. And I'm loyal to those guys. I'm loyal to the fans. Hopefully one day I can come back, you know, to a game and to that city and just give the fans what they deserve. And that's for guys that went out there every day to lay it on the line and play the game like it's supposed to be played, and get a chance to interact with the fans again and let them know how much they appreciate it, just like they appreciate us.
So no matter what happens now with celebrations of your 99 NBA Finals or your years in New York, you don't expect to be invited back for any of these alumni events now?
I doubt it, but, I mean, it is, like I said, I don't lose any sleep over it because the fans know. You know, with social media, they reach out, and I reach out, I respond to, you know, each and every one, let them know I appreciate it. And that was the reason why I played the game. I played the game because I love it, and I played the game so that the fans will get some enjoyment out of watching me go out there and compete against the best players in the world.